What is going on out there, peeps? All right, I haven't done something on Vietnam Dong in a while because, well, there just hasn't been time, to be quite honest with you. So let me get something going on for you here now. Well, let's talk about Vietnam because, as we predicted, 2020 was a good year for them, despite the fact of the Rona. Quick reminder, everybody, if you're thinking about buying precious metals, please give a consideration to our friends over there at Money Metals. They have been great for all my subscribers, and I'm grateful for them. If you are a first-time buyer over here in the United States or over in Puerto Rico, and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. You guys know we got Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. Over there on Facebook, it's a group. We talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. The link is in the description, and it's free to join. So come join us over there. There's a lot of great information that is posted. You guys know that a lot of these tech giants are doing a lot of censoring, so we're trying to find platforms where we can speak freely. LBRY is one of them. This is LBRY. It looks just like YouTube without all the censoring, which is really, really super important. This allows us to post the types of videos and say what we want without having to do what we call verbal gymnastics. Okay, so come join us over there. It's free to do so. The link is down in the description. So let's get into Vietnam a little bit. So this is important. Remember now, it's not just we're looking for some type of RI or RV. We're also looking for other things that will let us know some kind of indicator that the currency can grow in strength. One of those is taking a look at the economy, seeing how they're doing. So Vietnam to remain the center of Asian supply chains. Okay, this is good. Vietnam will remain at the center of the Asian supply chain and one of the most competitive manufacturing locations in Asia Pacific region, said an analysis Economist Intelligence Unit in a report on the countries released this week. Nice, that's what you want to see. If there's some kind of center or some kind of hub somewhere, that means a lot of business is going to be coming through them. The report, entitled The Rising Star, Vietnam's Role in Asia's Shifting Supply Chains, focused on examining Vietnam's labor market, investment attraction policy, and trade relationships. Unfortunately, one of those policies that are attracted is their manipulation of their currency being devalued. It allows for people to come through there, have their manufacturing done there for a little bit cheaper than where they would at their normal or at their own personal country. I think I worded that wrong just a little bit. Let me try it again. In other words, if you have a company here in the United States, you know there's a minimum wage out there and you must meet it. The wages are really high. The advantage that Vietnam has, their currencies have been manipulated and they're low. Causes a lot of our manufacturing to go places like China and Vietnam because the labor costs are really low. To have something produced in Vietnam is really cheap. So let's say again, if I'm making widgets and it costs me $10 here in the United States, I sell it for $15, I got a $5 profit. But if I make it over there in Vietnam and all the cost for labor and everything is only like, I don't know, $3 and I still sell it for $15, I now have a $12 profit. Do you see the difference? That's the advantage these countries have, and that's what Trump was trying to end. According to a low-skilled manufacturing wages will rise. This is good at a moderate pace relative to Vietnam's regional competitors. However, specialized labor in manufacturing and service professionals will remain scarce. Notice how they didn't want to talk about doing anything to do with the manufacturing. So if you're not manufacturing, there's a good chance your salaries will go up. This is good. But anything that has to do with labor or producing anything, that's not quite going to happen. This is how they are able to beat a lot of people around the world and remain very competitive in the field of production. In the field of investment, high-tech manufacturers will continue to enjoy incentives for many years to come. In addition, Vietnam has joined many trade agreements and maintained good relations with trade partners, helping to reduce transaction costs for local businesses. So that's not quite what you want to hear. You know what I mean? You don't want to hear this. Continue to enjoy incentives for many years to come. In other words, benefit of manipulated currencies. Now, of course, again, when Trump was in office, he took currency manipulation seriously. He was doing his best to go ahead and make it a level playing field. But yeah, I don't. You got to understand that we now have the establishment going back into the White House, and what that does, it really kills our opportunity to watch good growth over there for those of us who are invested in it. I hate to be Debbie Downer, but again, Biden's administration will take orders for Chai. All right, they like to be able to manipulate their currency so they could beat the United States in trade. And how our politicians benefit from that is they own shares and invest in these foreign companies that take advantage of this. So their policies are to let them do it while they get rich off letting them do it, and the rest of us suffer because manufacturing jobs go overseas. Makes it really hard. Our unemployment is low. Yeah, it's just really bad. We don't want this to happen, but it's going to. There's no doubt about it. We lost more manufacturing jobs under the Obama administration than any other administration prior to that. That just for that reason. Kido Foods profits jumped 10%. This is good. We like to hear this kind of stuff. Kido Foods joint stock company has announced a growth in nearly 10% in after year profits for 2020, reaching nearly, 6.8 million. Doesn't sound too bad, but over there it's a lot of money, despite facing challenges caused by the Rona. The company's revenues reached the 2020 was 5.2 million, although net revenue slightly fell 7.3% over the last year. The pre-tax profit still represents a 100.1% of annual target, reaching over 8.6 million. Now keep in mind, they still had successful numbers. The 7.3 drop is nothing. They had to deal with the Rona. Most people are on lockdown, and the companies still did a phenomenal job. That's why I like about the whole investing in Vietnam. Actually, the stock market. That's what we got to get into. Get into that field right there. Okay? There's all kinds of records being set on the stock markets over there as they continue to benefit from, being the center of the manufacturing world right there in Asia. In addition, the people taking advantage of their low wages and able to produce their products there for a much cheaper price. In addition, the company reviewed its product categories, developing trendy products that bring high profits. That's the smart thing. Produce diversification was also carried out. So again, these are the types of things you want to see. You want to see that companies are still doing good. The good thing about Vietnam, as I continue to analyze them, is despite the coronavirus being out there and hurting countries who are all in lockdown, Vietnam continued to find a way to, beat the coronavirus. As a matter of fact, they had the lowest numbers, I believe it was, in cases, and I believe only like one person's died. Not that dying is good, but just a case, I believe it's like one case. So they were able to continue to work and do things. Unfortunately, it was really hard for them to make some real money and produce really good because their trade partners were all shut down. So nonetheless, Vietnam's very, very good. So I'll get to that one a little bit later because I want to show you something about the currency manipulation. So we know that they were back on the currency manipulation list, them and Sweden, okay? So it says, what the U.S. currency manipulator label means for Vietnam. Well, it might not mean nothing, unfortunately, coming into this new administration. That's just the sad truth. Vietnam, along with Switzerland, was labeled a currency manipulator by the U.S. Department of Treasury in its annual report for stopping countries from gaining unfair trade advantage. Currency manipulator is a label associated with countries who consistently intervene in their currency markets in order to artificially devalue their currency against a major currency such as the U.S. dollar. Manipulators could be subject to countervaluing duties. The process to impose duties on Vietnam was riddled with legal challenges and is time-consuming. It is likely that the outcome will depend on the trade policy decisions in the incoming Biden administration. Now, keep in mind, China wasn't too happy about losing a lot of manufacturing jobs to those countries that surround the South Pacific Sea, Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore. They weren't happy about it. So I guess it depends on what the marching orders are from Chai to Biden. But my guess is that they're just going to say, look, we want to make sure these countries fall under the one China rule. So just leave them where they are so that we can just basically go over and take over their countries. And then they'll work for us anyways. On December 16, 2020, the U.S. Department labeled Vietnam as a currency manipulator. Okay, so if you scroll down here, it says, what is a currency manipulator? Vietnam's low exchange rate means that Vietnamese companies that sell goods to the U.S. earned more dong from the dollars than received from U.S. customs, while American business would pay more to exchange their dong. A country's exchange rate is a key deterrent of export competitiveness. determinant. Sorry, not deterrent. Determinant. Lower value as a V's. Other major currencies creators cost competitives for exporting firms. However, global currency markets are subject to both market forces and speculative pressures. Yeah, so how does the currency manipulation work? You guys probably heard me talk about it a dozen times. If they manipulate the currency and devalue it while exporting goods, they're able to manufacture stuff in Vietnam for much cheaper than other countries do. Therefore, they have an unfair competitive advantage when it comes to products that they manufacture. I will leave a link for this so you guys can come here and read a little bit more. But anyways, we really want to keep an eye on what's going on with the Biden administration. Already he's not in office, and I heard a bunch of terrible news. He's lifting all sanctions off Vietnam, or not Vietnam, all sanctions off China as well as Iran. He's also going to open up the China embassy back in Houston. So again, basically they're taking their marching orders from China. They've already sold out a long time ago. They're obligated to the Chinese Communist Party. So we'll keep an eye on what's going on here. I just wanted to show you this here. You can come through here. It shows you right here. Look at this. There are 3 conditions are met. So how they become a currency manipulator: significant bilateral trade surplus, material current account surplus, engages in persistent unilateral intervention in the currency market. So it goes through in here and explains the different scenarios so you can learn what we're watching, okay? Anyways, that's it for Vietnam. Let me know what you think. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.